Hi everyone, my name is Siddharth and I'm really happy to be here today. Thank you to the organizers of InfluencerCon for inviting me. Before I start, quick show of hands here. How many of you here are content creators? Show of hands, okay. Looks like about half. The rest of you, I guess, how many of you are from agencies, creator representation companies, brands? Okay, that fills it up. Well, thank you, now I know my crowd. So I'm in the content partnerships team here at YouTube, and basically what that means is I get to work with content partners and amazing creators like yourselves to grow your viewership, your business on YouTube, right? We've had some brilliant conversations earlier today, and what I can do today is maybe talk to you a bit about what we're seeing from a platform standpoint. I'm not someone who's going to be able to advise you on how to be a creator. We have far more skilled people than I at that today. And so as a video company, let's kick off with a mandatory video.
Hello guys, how are you? This is your grandpa. Which way?
So Karan, I don't see him here. He talked about the fact that he was a dinosaur, an old dinosaur, but dinosaurs ruled the earth for millions of years. We humans have been here only for a few thousand, right? And the reason I show you this is, Mr. Reddy, who's actually from this region, he passed away at the age of 73 about a month back, right? And in that time, quite late in life, he saw opportunity. He pounced on it, and over 6.5 million subscribers and far more many people were touched by him, right? And he used this opportunity to actually better the lives of people around him, right? He used to feed orphans with his proceedings. There were so many wonderful things he did. And that's really what I'm here to talk to you all about today, opportunity, right? You are all riding the wave of amazing opportunity today. Does anyone here not believe that? Well, that's good. That sets me up for an easy presentation in that case. So let's talk about that a bit more, right? Why do we have this opportunity? In a nutshell, lots of cheap data, right? Today, each Indian who is on a mobile phone on the internet is using as much data as anyone in any part of the world, any developed market in the world, right? Our price points are significantly much lower than, any Western economy. So for example, in the UK, a GB might cost you $6.50. In India, it costs you about 25 cents, right? Our devices have become much better, much cheaper, and it's in the hands of everyone, right? And further to that, I'm sure you've heard about so many plans by the government as well as private companies to increase access and devices and bring more people onto the internet, right? So where does that really leave us? About 5 years back when I joined YouTube, right? There were not even 100 million people on the internet. It was TVF and AIB that was kind of synonymous with YouTube. It was primarily English speaking. That was the world as we saw it, right? But we've been adding 40 million people and more on the internet each year since then. 40 million people. That's more than the population of many big countries around the world, right? From the last session, there was something really interesting, right? They talked about playing to your niche. You can't be everything to everyone, but you can be everything to someone. And those niches in India are much larger than the entire populations of big countries in Western Europe, other parts of Asia, and so forth, so on around the world. And that's the opportunity where we are. And so if you look at a lot of the new people who've come on the internet, they're fundamentally different from the people who were there before, right? And the way they're interacting is also extremely different, right? We call this the 3 Vs, voice, video, and vernacular, right? People are now starting to talk to their phones and the devices as opposed to typing. We have a wonderful product called the Google Assistant, and we actually see the usage, the conversational usage go through the roof, right? Give people cheap data on a device, well, they seem to like to spend their time watching video. So we're seeing the benefits of that. And the last part is people want to do it in their language. And this is not a great insight. We've all been doing it for many, many years across all of the forms of media. Why would it be any different here, right? And what they are doing on video is also fundamentally changing. 5 years back, it was primarily entertainment. And then we've gone through this phase where the next 100, 200 million people were saying, hey, it's not just entertainment, but I want answers to questions, right? You know, how do I look this way? How do I cook this, right? And things like that. But now, we're seeing the last 100 million of people who've come up and, you know, potentially the next few who do, you know, they're saying, change my life, improve my lot, give me opportunity. And that's really where we are today. So where does YouTube fit in all this? You know, we are doing quite well. So earlier this year at an event called Brandcast, we talked about the fact that we have over 265 million people each month visiting YouTube. And right now, we have much over 1,200 channels that have crossed the million subscriber mark. 5 years back, that was about 15, right? And of this 1,200 mark, around 120 are actually female creators, right? Yes, the number is not where it needs to be, but compared to maybe 1 or 2 in that same period, we're seeing all types of creators crossing amazing thresholds every year, right? So what does that mean? If you are a content creator, whatever platform you are on, the time for creation is absolutely now, right? You know, this circle here in India, you know, at least from what we can see, this is now our #1 market in the whole world by viewership, and in every metric, important metric, right? You know, viewership, growth, engagement, it's either #1 or growing close to #1, right? Which means that all of you here are really in one of the most interesting markets in the whole world to jump on the creation opportunity. It is an amazing time to be who you are, where you are. Another video. Got 2 more videos. And the last one. Okay. Quick poll. These are all music videos. What's so great about these? Anyone? Wild guess. Just shout it out. Yep. Emotional. Okay. Colors. Well, I mean, black and white TV has been behind us a long time back. But yes, colors. Catchy. Okay. The first 3 videos have all crossed 500 million views. Think about that. 500 million views. These are absurd numbers. And the last video, right, it's an old song, right? It's from Alka Yagnik. Alka Yagnik, as of 2 days back, in YouTube's global music charts, the #1 artist in the world in terms of viewership, and that song is the #1 song that she has sung. Just think about that. So look at that. We have a Tamil movie song, an independent song, a Bollywood mainstream song, you know, literally every type of entertainment that you could have, crossing absurd numbers. And we have Indian entertainment making a mark anywhere in the world you are. In fact, in our global music charts, almost every week we find that a 1/5 of all of the top 10 artists are generally from India. Neha Kakkar, Badshah, etc., you know, the list goes on. So Indian entertainment on the internet is absolutely massive, right? And if the clicker works, yes. You know, we're taking advantage of this opportunity. You know, we've got a wonderful product out there called YouTube Music. You all should try it. We are also live in about 50 countries with that. We also have a product called YouTube Premium where we're trying to give consumers choice. Do you want ads? Do you want to pay? And so we're trying to do things around this. I'm also going to leave this out there for a minute. No further comments, right? But if you look at entertainment, it's not just music, it's not just mainstream, it's actually you folks. Creators are literally the reason for YouTube's existence. And the numbers that you all are actually crossing, the milestones you're achieving are getting absurd. 17 million subscribers. BBQ Minds has crossed 10 million a while back, right? Every day we're seeing amazing thresholds being crossed and people like you creatively entertaining folks all around the country, all around the world, right? Now shifting gears a little.
प्रपोजिशन होता है, पहली बात तो ये होती है ये किसी पॉइंट को रिप्रेजेंट करता है ना, ये किसको रिप्रेजेंट करता है, किसी पॉइंट को रिप्रेजेंट करता है ना. और
You know what's special about this channel? Anyone recognize this, show of hands? Anyone recognize this channel? Yep, okay. So this is a channel called Wi-Fi Study, where the only content that they put up is actually live streams. And they do about 5-6 live streams a day, which is literally live classes every day. They've just crossed 10 million subscribers. They are the largest learning channel in all of Asia, the first to cross the 10 million subscriber mark, right? I mean, that is an amazing achievement, right? And they're doing this with live classes every day, right? So remember when you go back to what I talked about, the recent 100 million people who are saying, change our lives, make us better. It's really coming to that. People on the internet now have so many needs, right? You must stay in your niche, but your niche is massive, right? And whether people are saying, entertain us, right? Help us with these questions or improve us, there's an opportunity for you here today, right? Not just that, people have aspirations. They're saying, better us, and
श्री अकाल, मेरा नाम है दर्शन सिंह और आपका फार्मिंग लीडर चैनल पे वेलकम करता हूं। किसान वीरों, आज हम आए हुए हैं गांव बुढ़ंगपुर में, जो कि अंबाला डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर पड़ता है। यहां पर हम मिले सर हरविलास जी से, जो कि बहुत छोटे लेवल पे लेकिन बहुत ही साइंटिफिक तरीके से वैज्ञानिक ढंग से पशुपालन करते हैं। इन्होंने जो नाद होती है, खुरली होती है हमारी पशु,
people are saying upskill us, right? So we've taken recognition of this. We're really backing learning as a vertical. 9 out of 10 people who come on YouTube say that YouTube is a place to actually learn something, right? And we believe we can be truly transformative in this space, right? And learning, by the way, is a huge spectrum. If you go back to answering questions, how do I cook this? How do I look like this? And so forth, so on. That's all learning on YouTube. You all have an amazing role to play in this regard. Now, speaking of impact, right? We've had an interesting year with elections. Elections and politics are the gift that keep on giving. You just need to look to one side at Maharashtra and the fun that's going on over there. This year in the elections, we've had over 150 news organizations go live and stream the elections, right? The time spent on news from our authoritative partners has actually tripled in the last 2 years. And not all of these news channels or partners are actually television and print. So many independent companies. We've partnered with a lot of organizations to basically bring amazing news formats. We have launched India First products to combat fake news, put context next to stories, promote authoritative news sources, and so on. And so you're going to start seeing a lot of these continue to happen over the next few years. So this is a small section of a video from a program we run called Next Up. Next Up is really a week-long residency we do with really promising creators, where we really try to upskill you, connect you with top industry professionals, YouTubers who are doing really, really well, and so forth, so on, and try to help you take your channel and your business to the next level, right? We also do something called a pop-up. And in a pop-up, what we do is we go to a city, we set up a studio for a few days, and we call content creators like yourselves to come and produce content absolutely for free and then put this up, right? In fact, this week, as we speak, we've got a pop-up and a Next Up happening in Chennai, right? And we're doing this thematically, in fact. So, the Next Up we've done this year, one's been for gaming, one for women on the rise, and, so thematic artists, and so we're approaching these thematically, right? So we're really trying to see how do we work with creators like yourselves, build your business up through education, and then have you flourish on our platform. About a week or two back, we also did an event here called Telugu Day, where we did workshops and sessions with many of the top creators and partners in the market. And then when you succeed,
This evening, it's been a wonderful, wonderful time. Right here at 2019, thank you so much. You've been brilliant.
you know, it's really an opportunity for all of us to celebrate this, right? Because that's what we are at the end of the day, right? What we want to do is, you know, bring together the communities of amazing creators like yourselves and your amazing fans, put you two together, because fandom is really what makes this work, right? You know, I go back to what I said when I started this, right? I can't really tell you how to be a creator or how to be a better creator. In fact, it's folks like yourselves who are building YouTube. And what we do is we look to you all for inspiration, right? And see then how can we engage better so that we can all make an amazing difference and impact in this world. So, you know, whatever vertical, wherever your talent is, wherever your passion is, wherever your skill set is, right? The time to actually lean in is now, right? It doesn't matter how old your audience is. It absolutely doesn't matter how old or young you are, right? It doesn't matter where your audience is, and it doesn't matter where you are. I mean, the next Ladakhi creator, if this is something which inspires you, you can absolutely go for it right now. It really doesn't matter where your audience is. You could sit here and reach anyone, anywhere. Think about that. 80 languages, 100 countries around the world, right? We're bringing creators together around their passions. We're bringing you all together around your interests, however specific your interests are. Any magicians here? There's some inspiration for you here. We're bringing you together around your aspirations, and we're bringing you together around the questions that you want answers for, right? Nothing is too big or too small. If you are a creator, the time for YouTube is now. Thank you. Do we do a Q&A now? Yep. Questions, please.
Yeah, thanks a lot for sharing a lot of metrics. In one of the slides, you mentioned a $20 million fund on the education slide. Could you talk a little more about that?
Sure. So let me talk about learning, right? I think learning is an amazing opportunity today from an India standpoint, from multiple standpoints. So one is, in general, we're a tuition-heavy market, right? And so much opportunity there. And there's so many amazing channels, partners, and creators who are developing content around that. So that's one part around that. And then the other thing I think is, as India is a very young country with, I think, the largest population of people under 35 in the world, people need to upskill themselves, and they're looking for, you know, ways to basically become job ready, get qualifications, and actually better their lot in life, right? So what we're actually doing is we are actually trying to identify those opportunities which can transform people in a big way, create massive shifts in society, and then we're trying to say, how can we engage and fund with that, you know, fund projects like that, and then back that up with some amazing products like the learning playlist which we're developing on the other end. So I think that's what we're trying to do. And if any of you have any amazing ideas here, you know, feel free to reach out to us. You can hit us up on social, you could drop me an email, and let's see if there's a fit. Any other questions? Yes, please.
Hello.
Hi.
So we are from an NGO called Camp Diaries. So we teach underprivileged kids few activities, extracurricular and co-curricular. We've recently expanded to 8 cities. So our main aim right now is to get more volunteers. Of course, we are active on Instagram, Facebook, but how can we use YouTube to get that attention that that an NGO can get?
Brilliant. So, you know, first of all, thank you for doing the amazing work that you do, right? I mean, that's really inspiring to hear. And what I would say is, if you want to reach out to people, then you got to give them content that they want to consume. And then you can tie that back to what you do, right? So for example, let me ask you, which all languages or states do you try to reach?
So right from south, like Bangalore, Hyderabad, then Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Pune, Jaipur.
Okay.
We're also looking at Guwahati.
Okay, okay, all over, okay. Okay, let's just take this market as an example, Telugu, right? So if you look at Telugu, you have amazing creators here, you know, in the comedy and entertainment space, web series, food, hobbies, lifestyle, news, right? These are verticals which are doing really well for us in this regard, right? So if you look at it, there are opportunities for you to partner with some of the amazing faces that you see around here, where on one side the audience leans in because of the entertainment or the learning, and then on the back side, they get passed a message where they could possibly engage with you. And a lot of the people here, I'm sure they're looking for ways by how they can impact and bring more meaning to their audience's life. So there could be a good synergy. So I would urge you to network with the faces that you see around here and find the right fit for you. And I'm sure in a room of a few hundred people here, there are definitely 5 people who could, bring value to all the people for your project, right?
Hi, sir. Thanks for the brief. I'm already associated with YouTube from last almost around 8 years. So we have a lot of content. So I know about the content creation part, but the challenge, another part of challenge is in YouTube is taking your content to the target audience. Basically, when we do organic, so what is the key important factors where we should work to get our content, which helps our content to reach to the particular target segment?
Could you maybe rephrase that? I'm not sure I understood that well.
So we have content, but that content is not only we are creating. I'm not the only one. Out of 100, let's say 1,000 people are creating similar content. So organic way how YouTube, what changes or what modification we should do on the video content side or the posting side, which can help us grow our reach.
Understood. So I think when you look at, so there are a couple of ways to look at this. The first thing is, how many channels do you think there are on YouTube trying to reach the same person as you? Hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions? There's a big number there, right?
Yes.
So, the audience is literally spoiled for choice, right?
Yes.
So, therefore, you have to be distinctive, unique, and super relevant and helpful for that audience, right? So, if you find, and I'm not sure if I understood your words right, but if you feel that there are, I think you said many other people who are making similar content to you,
Yes.
then maybe it's not as compelling for your audience, and perhaps you could think about how do I create something that is unique and stands out. That's one. The second thing is, I think the reality of the media business, and this is not just YouTube, this is not the internet, this is everywhere, right? Most media all around the world works on 3 to 5 year timelines, right? And then it needs a refresh. On an average in US TV, the average career is 3 years, right? So every 3 to 4 years, you reach a point where you have to reinvent yourself, right? And that's what separates 3-year careers from legends like Madonna, who've been here, ever since the dinosaurs left Earth, right? For millions of years. So I think the first thing you need to really kind of think about is, if my content is not distinct, then what can I do to really create something compelling and unique? I think the second part is then once you know that, and by the way, we have a lot of resources at YouTube creators. We've got a website called Creator Academy, channel also of the same, which has a lot of ideas for you around the same. If you can kind of identify that, then we do have a lot of modules online. We do workshops like the one a couple of weeks back, where we show you how do you take this and translate this into operations tools, feature usage, to help you then bridge the next gap. But fundamentally, it has to start with a compelling, unique content offering.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
So when I upload a video on YouTube, I could see number of views and number of likes, but I'm unable to check how many people are sharing my video. So number of shares option, is it there on YouTube or?
Oh yes, it's there. It's there in your
Where
analytics.
can we find it?
So I think when you go to your analytics,
Okay.
within the audience engagement section, we do report it for you for your videos. So Creator Studio, you get the Creator Studio app,
Okay.
You'll surely be able to find it. Maybe you could look at our help center. It'll just show you step by step how to find that metric.
Thank you so much. So do you have any customer care number? If you have any such doubts, can we directly call you?
You could actually, so we're doing 2 things for that.
Okay.
One is you can tweet to us, at YouTube Creators India.
Okay.
We have also launched chat support for all partners here. So if you go to Creator Studio and you go to help, it'll say chat with us, and you can immediately start chatting with one of us to kind of help you through all these issues. So please do that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, are we good? Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.